to get it back, just a revenge. I'ma go to pack.
It's a rematch from Week 5, where Dallas defeated New York for the 8th time in the last 9 meetings. Yet the Giants can still split the series for the 2nd straight season, as this NFC East matchup heads your way. Next.
We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Dallas Cowboys. Welcome again, one and all. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Brandon Gaudin on hand alongside Charles Davis. And yes, the storyline here, the weather. Snow and more of it expected as this game continues. So how will that impact how this one goes?
Can these teams ignore the distraction and the strangeness of playing in a snow game? Because it actually affects the crowd as well. That big roar you get is often muffled when there's a snow game. And the second part, what's the footwear you got on? Does that fit the turf you're playing on? And how will it handle as things get a little bit slick?
The longtime Panther Graham Gano has us set for a start as we are underway from MetLife Stadium. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. Here comes this Dallas offense led by Dak Prescott in his 6th season now as the Cowboy quarterback.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing 1 interception, didn't have a touchdown to offset it, but the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes us forward for about 6. The numbers for Zeke from last week. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches who are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that kind of production.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29.
Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you. You're the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage?
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. On the left side, Gallup's got it. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. 5 yards, and that means they come up short as they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive.
Obviously, they didn't get everything they wanted on that completion, but they put themselves in a spot where you've got to at least think about going for it. I know where we are on the field, but still, you've got to think about it, don't you?
The veteran in his first year with the Cowboys, Brian Anger, on to punt. As he's on to punt for Dallas. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. The former number 6 overall pick of 2019, Daniel Jones, trots out to lead this New York Giants offense.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
Throwing, Jones. Finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Now Jones. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Neville Gallimore in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week, and here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Another try after the first down sack. Jones, and he's going to go down again. Randy Gregory has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Now make that a second sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun, Jones throwing deep for Galladay. And all of that, nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way he wanted to start this ball game as it brings up 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Cowboy offense heading out. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy? Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
On 1st and 10, Prescott gonna take a shot for Gallup. Oh, tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And the Giants force the turnover, and they'll take over at the 10.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
As the Giants head back out there, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just some. Gets by him, and now a little daylight. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down.
Oh, he's got the full package. He can spin, he can juke, he can make you miss, he can drop his shoulder on you. Some of that elusiveness we saw at Penn State has definitely translated to the NFL game. Saquon Barkley hit the proper buttons and turn him loose.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. A 2nd and 10 on a chilly, snowy December day. And I must say, I'm loving it. Kind of putting me in the holiday spirit. Charles hates it. And he's giving me the evil eye, folks. To Barkley on the check down. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like right at the 40. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Washington.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
And that will be incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, They've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Dallas offense set for this next drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. So Dak with a completion there, really showing no ill effects from that injury a season ago. Yeah, what do you think your keys are defensively trying to stop Mr. Prescott?
Well, I think any defensive coordinator will tell you, stop his running game first, because he is at his best off of play action when all of your linebackers come up to the line of scrimmage after the fake to the running back, and that allows him room and space to make a decision downfield. So take away the run, and that allows you to drop into coverage and blanket the field.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll try the right side with Elliott. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. A big play here for Dallas. But Dak Prescott, probably not the first name you think of in terms of strongest arms in the NFL, but he showed it off there.
And we often talk about hang time for punts, but in this case, we should probably calculate the hang time on that throw because that one hung up there for a long time and managed to keep going and going until it found its target.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Now here's Pollard. And he stopped immediately there. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. This is 3rd and goal. This Giants defense, they have withstood the test thus far. Here's Elliott. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. They lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
One word comes to mind to me after that last play, and that's alert. That defense took a chance guessing the snap count, and they were so right. Got great push up front, and that forces 4th and goal.
Can this defense hold them out? Here we go now. 4th and goal from the 2. They'll run it with Elliott. And he'll be caught behind the line of scrimmage at the 3. Ezekiel Elliott unable to punch it in. And this Giants defense able to come up with a goal line stand. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. No score after one on EA Sports. Ready to roll for the second quarter from MetLife Stadium. The Giants with the football as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Now Jones from the gun on 3rd down. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for New York. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. 31 yards on the punt there. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
Prescott's throw complete into the hands of Schultz here. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 14. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Prescott. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by James Bradbury. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Here's Jones on 1st down. That is caught at the 7. And the Giants are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Looking to throw. Jump, and he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. The coverage good, the pressure good, leads to the sack, and it's 3rd and goal now.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
It'll definitely be a disappointment to come out of this starting position with just 3 points. They need to try to dial something up now, 3rd and 10. Here's Barkley. And he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage with a penalty flag down. This might push him back further. Well, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the 2nd quarter now, and we do have our 1st point. It's a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yeah, so make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Prescott now. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he picks up the 1st before he's taken down at the 29. These two teams met at MetLife Stadium earlier this year with the Giants winning that one. So they are looking for the sweep here at MetLife. Here's Elliott. And he'll run straight into a wall of tacklers at the line of scrimmage. It's second down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now Prescott. Open man Lamb. It's complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. First down, Cowboys. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Prescott. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Danny Shelton muscles his way in for the sack.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Here's Prescott. He'll get this out wide here to Elliott. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Prescott from the gun. That one complete to Elliott. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Dallas. A minute 55 left to go in the first half of play. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Meanwhile, Jones' throw here taken in by Ingram. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Back to throw. Jones hit in the ball zone. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Now here comes Daniel Jones and the Giants again. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? You know, shorter drops? Maybe they do something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because you cannot let your guy get hit that much, not if you intend to win.
I know they'd like to erase that video and those 4 sacks that they've seen so far. Out to the right here to Shepard. First down now, but that clock rolling. Looking to throw. Jones. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. On 2nd and 10. Jones. Open target here, Darius Slayton. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. To Shepard, complete over the middle. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Throwing again on 2nd down. Jones. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Gano's kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So the margin shrinks a bit as back-to-back drives here for him and with field goals.
Yeah, we know no one's turning down 3, especially in the first half, but you've got to finish these drives in the end zone. That's got to be a priority. Nice to have a reliable kicker, but outside of his agent, you know you'd rather him kick 1-pointers instead of 3-pointers.
And he's going to be out of bounds here as the run back will leave him shy of the 20-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Blake Martinez, the Giants' leading tackler last year, in to make the stop there. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. With that, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Cowboys. And even though they've got the lead, they're likely going over ways they can improve the running game, as they didn't find a whole lot of success in those first 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for the Giants, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Returning it, John Ross. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. Now here comes Daniel Jones and the Giants again. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off, because they do know that they are trying.
And, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to throw. Jones. This is Shepard on the catch.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. And he'll manage to break a tackle and get this forward for a couple. It'll be second down. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium.
Eight
8 yards to go on second down. Looking to throw. Jones. And this one nearly intercepted. Boy, that would have been a great time for their first pick. But instead, it's third down. Jones now on third down. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up fourth down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
A first down throw for Prescott. He finds his target. It's Schultz. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up. Here's Prescott. And he's got it. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further.
And that's another route that defenders would vote to take out of the game.
The wheel route?
Oh, without a doubt. You're just trying to move everybody in one direction. And whether it's a running back or another receiver, as they zip out on the sideline, you've got a problem on your hands.
Yeah, well, the defenders hate it there. It happened, and it resulted in a touchdown. Now Zerline on to add the extra point. And it's up. It's good. Our score, 14-6. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. Now Ross to return. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The possession switching back to the New York Giants. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You know, always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. It didn't go through the goalpost, so.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up, because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch, and guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did, because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
Now Saquon Barkley. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's a give to Barkley. And this will be a Giants first down as good running gets him to about the 44. CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but man, his first step is so quick too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Randy Gregory racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. And keep in mind, in addition to the 2 sacks that he now has, CD, he's also had a couple of quarterback hurries. He's been very disruptive.
To put it mildly, and it reminds me of the time I asked an offensive tackle who struggled like this in a game. He said he was telling the coach, hey, what do you want me to do? This guy's just eating me alive. And the coach finally just looked at him and said, applaud.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Jones throw here pulled in by Galladay. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. Now whistles here and a flag down. I think a Giant jumped early. That's going to set him back 5 yards. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Back to throw. Jones. Hard throw. Incomplete. Here's Riley Dixon now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. The Dallas offense back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters.
And Prescott, his 3rd interception. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. So now it appears they're going to accept the penalty, which means take away the interception. Also means keep your defense on the field. Don't understand this one bit. First down, Prescott. Over the middle, Amari Cooper. It's complete. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. The broken tackle, but couldn't create much space. Down just beyond the 35. To throw is Prescott. Open man, right side, it's Lamb. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
I know I'm an old defender, but I've got to give credit where credit's due. That was smart play calling right there on 3rd and 4. They didn't need to do too much. Just let their guy get out there and sit down in the zone. And they hit him for the completion for the first down.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. 42 yards on the ground for him so far. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on 1st and 10. Elliott, toss right. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Behind the chain, 2nd and 12. Looking to throw. Prescott. A dump off to Elliott.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. On the left side, Gallup's got it. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
Play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And his throw is going to be incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Off the play fake, Prescott. That is incomplete.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide, because that's prime pick 6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the 3rd row.
Prescott yet again. And that's Elliott, complete. And he's not going to sniff the 1st down here. He stopped at the 25. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. 1st down would have been nice, but now you get to kick the field goal, still go up 2 scores.
They tried to get it, though, didn't they? Threw the pass, got the completion just short of the 1st down, but you're exactly right. Run the field goal unit out there, kick it, put it through the post, go up 2 scores.
Zerline's kick is up and through. And that will extend their lead here to 17-6. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Jones. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Throwing Jones. Completes it to Evan Ingram. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. It's a big play for the Giants on 3rd down.
That's a real nice job right there, working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Looking to throw. Jones. He targets Ingram for another grab. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 3 yards the gain there, second down. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Cowboys. He's at the 30, 20, 10, 5. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discuss it prior to, and everyone knows their role when they create a turnover like that.
The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? First and goal. Prescott now after the fumble recovery. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Cowboys are closing in on a third straight win as they widen the gap further here in the fourth quarter. Zerline now for the PAT. And the lead is up to 18 now. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. This one certainly has not gone according to script. You would have thought on paper that this offense would have its way here, but they certainly have not. Dashing through the snow. Touchdown, Giants. Saquon Barkley, 79 yards. And the Giants are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter. Saquon Barkley, we know how good he is in the running game, but here good yardage in the passing game as he's able to shake free. The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This is Tony Pollard. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play here for Dallas. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years. The arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And he made that look effortless, didn't he? I mean, he's had a great game throwing the football. This is going to add to his yardage total in a big way. It's one thing to be accurate on your short and intermediate throws, but when you're hitting the bombs like those, look out.
They'll run on first down. Elliott. And down inside the 15 he goes. 51 yards rushing for him now as he's done it on 19 carries. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the fourth quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
From the 13 now, they work on first and 10. On the option, here's Elliott. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. Dexter Lawrence has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. And Zerline's kick is good. And that will get the lead up to 14. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. New York's offense back out there and set to go. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not get.
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. The defense rising to the challenge and setting them back on the sack.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Back to throw. Jones. And that is incomplete. The Giants on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Looking to throw. Jones. He'll get this one to Galladay. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Looking for Shepard deep. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Well, I guess an interception at this point on 4th down is just as bad as an incomplete pass. Either way, the ball goes over to the other side.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in this late in the game, and there's not a whole lot he could do there, and he winds up giving the ball away.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. 58 yards rushing for him now to this point. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. He's got the hat trick, 3 touchdowns now.
Did you throw yours? Did you throw yours out there?
I didn't have mine. You've got yours. You've got one of those Abe Lincoln hats.
Yeah, and that stovepipe is going right out there for him. A nose for the end zone, 3rd time today. I think he deserves a tip of the cap.
Now Zerline on to add the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns and 21 points. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position and only 1 play to score it. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. New York ready to go again offensively. Now, this game went off the rails early for them and never really got back on track. And these fans, they were expecting to be on the other side of the scoreboard, but that is not the case as we play on here in this 4th quarter. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. This, the second meeting of these two teams. You might recall they met back in Week 5. And it was the Giants with a road victory, so they'll look for the sweep here in MetLife Stadium. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again, Jones. It's hauled in by Shepard. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Jones throw on target to Shepard. To the 40 and no further, so the razzle-dazzle didn't get him much. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. To Barkley on the check down. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. On 2nd and goal, Jones. And he finds Shepard. Touchdown, Giants. Sterling Shepard. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Giants have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Gano for the extra point. And the lead will be cut down to 14. So that drive 6 plays, 75 yards. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And the Cowboys are going to secure the football, and with it, they'll just about secure the victory as well. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Dallas offense set for this next drive. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. A little clock management 101.
And they take a knee. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And they will take a knee here.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do, but they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for the Cowboys, they get back to 500 now as the win moves them to 7-7.
And they will head home for next week's contest. That is against Washington.
Meanwhile, for the Giants, it'll be loss number 6 on the season for them. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off